Hello and welcome to another episode of the e-commerce coffee break. Today we want to talk about data and reporting. Obviously, data is a huge field, and when it comes to Shopify, you get certain tools on board, but we want to just extend that a little bit and go deeper into the topic of reporting. Therefore, with me today, Sam Sesti. He is the founder of cloudlab.com and also an active member of the Shopify community. CloudLab was founded in 2020 with the purpose to providing back office solution for Shopify merchants, and one of their apps is Report Toaster, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Hi Sam, how are you today?
Great, Klaus. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Share a little bit about you. Who do you serve? Why do you decided to start building an app for Shopify store owners?
Yeah, so me and my partner, we've been working together on and off for almost 30 years now. Since right when I was out of university, and our background is enterprise, back office, financial software. He has also a background in some big data analytics stuff, and we had worked in a previous job with a company that did partially served Shopify as a Shopify app, but tried to serve all of the e-commerce platforms, Woo, et cetera. And, we really liked the Shopify ecosystem. We kind of fell in love with it, actually. We think it's still early. I know that a lot of people, think the Wild West days are over, but I think that there's still a lot of opportunity here. And so, as I said, I think the back office here is underserved. I think there's a ton of apps out there for upsell and cross sell and, all the stuff that helps you, get your customers engaged at the time of sale. But we feel there's very little sophistication in the way of tools for merchants, especially small merchants, people that maybe they're not super tech savvy. They just run a small store, don't have a lot of background in this, and all the way up, with our backgrounds in enterprise software, we thought we could also scale up to the big guys. We have plus clients that are, selling hundreds of thousands of orders a month, and we can offer value at both places. So that's kind of how we got started. Knew we would do something data related just based on our background, and we have a framework that my partner's written, and it really lends itself well to doing ad hoc reporting. So we thought, why not start there and see where it goes?
Okay, now makes total sense. Obviously, reporting is a huge part, or should be a huge part of every business. And as you said, I think it's a bit underserved. I mean, obviously, depending on what kind of plan you have in Shopify, you have different reports that are coming out of the box. You have a report builder in there, but also it does not really point a store owner, specifically if they're starting a new business or it's a small and medium enterprise, does not really point them in the right direction of what kind of reports they can use or what makes sense in their business. And I see your app is coming with a lot of pre-configured reports. How did you come on that idea, and how much does that help a store owner?
We believe it adds great value, because sometimes I think they don't even know what they're looking for at times, especially the small ones. Like you said, the Shopify makes some reporting available, but at the first two tiers, the basic and the Shopify, it's very limited to almost none. And so there's not a lot of insights they can gather out of the box. So we tried to provide that and, give them pretty much everything they would need to run their business, in a somewhat passive sense, the way I call it. We're there for them. We have all their data. It's their data after all. So why not give them access to all of it? And then, we have plans for the future to make it a little more active, where we're giving them advice and telling them where we think they should act. But for now, we started with, hey, it's your data. Look at it the way you want. Here's some examples. I think we have 80 plus pre-configured reports, but the options are virtually limitless as to what they can create based on the different filters and column combinations and all the options that we provide for aggregation, et cetera.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I see my clients, my coaching clients, that they're very proud that they generate a lot of data in their stores, but as you said, then they don't know what to do with it. And then we're talking about going into Google Analytics and finding out data that helps them with optimizing for conversions, or finding out how the user journey works, or looking into accounting data to optimize their finances. And that's where people get scared. Now, obviously, with businesses, specifically with businesses that are grown very fast, you get more and more external sources, means either virtual assistants or any other employees on board. And then obviously reporting becomes more crucial to have the right reporting for the right person at the right point. And I think this is something that you do quite nicely, that you have scheduled reports. Is that right?
Yeah, we do. Yep. We have a couple different ways to get these out into the world. One is scheduling, where you can schedule any report at any interval and send it to any number of recipients, whether it be email, SMS, and we're working on a lot of other delivery channels, Slack and, different, maybe Zapier, different web endpoints. We just released an integration yesterday with an app called Mechanic, which is, in my opinion, the best automation tool for Shopify. And so now we can interchange data between the two. So you can create a report toaster report, pull it into Mechanic, transform it, send it a different direction, send it FTP, do whatever you want. And at the same time, we can integrate with third parties. So we track data additional to Shopify and Report Toaster, things like shipping costs, transaction fees for payment gateways, and things that give you a more full picture of your profit and your other operations. And so now we can integrate very easily with things like ShipStation or Printful to get shipping costs. And I'm actually working on one for ShipStation right now for one of our clients. So we really think that is a piece, that Mechanic integration is a piece that really takes us to the next level, because it kind of unhinges or unshackles the data in a way that wasn't there previously, because otherwise we'd have had to written all these integrations manually ourselves, and who knows what people want to do. This kind of allows them to do whatever they want to do.
Okay. Now, how do you pull out the data out of Shopify? I know that a lot of people, specifically nowadays, have concerns about their privacy, about security, about getting hacked. How do you deal with that?
Yeah. So first off, our background, is in, like I said, enterprise data, and we're very serious about security. We understand that personal information is not just, it's a hot topic for a reason. People are very concerned about stuff like that. So we do keep pull all the data into our own data store, only for the purposes of scalability and being able to actually report real time, because the only access that Shopify gives us to the data is via their API, and there are serious limits put on, throttling put on how many calls we can make per second. So when someone signs up for our service, we pull a copy of all their data going back as far as Shopify lets us go into a data store that is fully secured. We're in Amazon. We've got, every secured, measure taken that can be possibly taken at that point. We adhere to GDPR and, all of the other privacy laws that are out there. I have quite a background in that, actually. And so at that point, we keep the data real time, because Shopify has webhooks that you subscribe to. And so whenever something gets updated in their store, we get notified about it, and we take the measures to pull it into the data store. So everything's real time, everything's, there for them. But at the same time, we need our customers to understand that it is fully secure. I mean, because it's not just their data, it's their customers' data, which is a pretty sensitive point, because if something happened to us, they're responsible. They're the ones that allowed us to have that data. So it's not just our reputation on the line, it's their reputation.
Makes perfect sense. I think it's a very sensitive topic for a lot. And then obviously it's good that you have found ways to keep the data secure. Now, when it comes to data, I'm more like the visual guy. So I like to see visualized data. I can read more out of it than looking just at a column of figures and numbers. And so what kind of options, as we are here on a podcast and cannot really show screenshots, what kind of options do you have there, or what does your system provide on this side?
Yeah, in any of our reports, we have charting capabilities. So you can chart stuff, pie charts, line charts over time, any of those types of things. We find that useful, especially as you're looking at, sales over time, or maybe customer growth over time, total, average order value over time, things like that, or what percentage of your sales come from which payment gateway or things like that, or from which of your sales channels. And we have plans for that in the future. We're just getting started here. I mean, we launched in May of 2020. We have over 1,500 users now, but we think we're just at the very beginning. We have a lot of plans for visualizations via dashboards, like I said, more proactive notifications, things like that. And we really think it should be largely visual, because this really doesn't help a small merchant, in my opinion, unless they can get at a glance a insight into what they need to do now. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these people are running this as a side thing. So they don't have 8 hours a day to dig in and figure out why they're not getting a sale or why they're not taking advantage of the best rates for shipping or whatever. So we have their data. We know e-commerce. We feel that we can give them actionable insights that they can go and say, hey, these are my 4 things to do today. And go act on those and leave the rest up to kind of us to just be mindful of their data and know what they need to do next and what can kind of wait.
Excellent point. As you said, you have more than 1,500 people or stores using your app right now. From your experience, what are the reports that people are starting with, or which would you recommend?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people starting on just trying to get data out. So they want orders out, customers out, and just get it out to another system, which is why we're so keen on, creating some of these integrations to help automate some of that. But a lot of people use our shipment status report. That'll tell them when deliveries are late. They have the tracking number there. They can link out to it, so they can kind of see, hey, what are the shipments they need to be following up on because a customer is not getting their items on time, for example. We have a lot of customers that use it for tax reporting. So reporting to the different municipalities. In the U.S., it's a little simpler maybe than in some of the foreign countries outside the U.S., but there's still requirements there. They have to know what they've sold that's taxable, what they've sold that's not taxable, what they've sold in different tax jurisdictions. A lot of people use it for reporting on profit. So take your cost of goods sold less your sales, less your cost of goods sold. And like I said, now that we can track shipping costs and transaction fees, you can get your total net profit on a sale. So everything from, take your cost of goods sold, your shipping minus your shipping costs, and add your transaction fees in and get what your actual net was on an order. So I think a lot of our customers are really starting to understand that and be able to get a full picture, which really helps.
Okay. Are there any kind of limitations when it comes to the size of the reporting? Or depending how big the store is, how many, I don't know, data they already have? Is there any kind that you say, okay, you can't do more than, I don't know, 6 years of business with that many SKUs, or is it basically unlimited on what you can generate?
We've not hit a limit yet. The only limits we have are Shopify induced, 2 years on their history when they start. So we can only go back 2 years to grab their data. Of course, if they stayed with us an additional year, that means they'd have 3 and on. So they can go back, keep going back. There's limits on sorry about my clock, it rings every 15 minutes. We have limits on the API capacity that we can call them. So we've had to architect clever solutions to deal with that. But, honestly, we have people doing hundreds of thousands of orders a month, and we've been able to manage it. And, what I think is one of the questions from our customers is, how does the performance, if I'm a small shop and you have all these big plus clients, is that going to slow me down? The answer is no. We isolate the activity for each account so that one does not affect the other. And another question we get often is, does your app affect our site speed? And the answer is a big no on that one, because we're not integrated into the theme. We're not on the front end. We run basically all the activities happening on our servers. So we take the brunt of all of that. And so limitations, not yet. I'm sure, when we do hit them, we react. That's why we stayed free for so long. We actually just introduced our paid plans about a month ago. We wanted to take the first 6 months or so and just get things figured out. become scalable, make sure we don't have any issues with the data integrity, all of those things. Listen to our clients, make sure that we have the features that they feel make it worth paying for. And then we decided to launch our paid features. It was a nice way to grow and get a user base, but also then, make sure that we're offering value for our product.
Yeah. So Report Toaster works with all Shopify plans, or is there?
It does. It works with all
does.
plans. And we have a very robust free plan for the basic and the Shopify people. Those are the ones that don't get a lot out of reporting for Shopify. So we give them a year's data for free and use of all our base features. The only, they can upgrade for $9 a month, but that's to get scheduled reports, shared links, additional integration, stuff like that. But if they just want to use the pre-built reports, build their own custom reports, filtering, custom columns, exporting, etc., that's all free for them.
Okay, so I reckon onboarding goes very quickly and it's very straightforward in that case then.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What would you recommend somebody who's coming to you and has literally no idea, as you said, maybe somebody who's running a shop right now as a side hustle? What's your recommendation, your golden nuggets to get started with reporting?
Mm-hmm. Come in, take a look at what we have. We have a search bar, use a keyword, tag, and tell us what you're looking for. If you're having a hard time, I think our support is second to none. We have live chat and we love to help our customers solve problems. But get started is look at, what's your average order value? How can you make conversions better? I mean, the formulas are pretty simple in e-commerce. Your conversion rate times your average order value, times your number of visitors basically equals your profit or your revenue. But I'd say pay attention to your profit. It doesn't do you any good to get a bunch of sales if you're losing money on them. Unless you have a plan in mind. If those are loss leaders, then that's fine, but you can't do that forever. Pay attention to the financials. We have a suite of reports that are good for sending to accountants or doing your own financials. Don't put that off. Have that, kind of buttoned up when, as you get going, because it's really hard to go back and do that later. And just take advantage of all the things that Shopify offers. They offer shipping, they offer payment gateway, they offer email. Use it all. It's there for you, and we help you analyze what happens once you use it. But if you don't use it, it doesn't do any good.
Yeah, as I always say, know your numbers. Quite important there. And if you have a tool that makes it easier for you, even better. Cool. Where can people find more about your app?
Lots of places. You can start with our app listing. It's in the App Store under Report Toaster. From there, we link out to our support page, support.cloudlab.com, which takes you to all our support articles, videos, tutorials. And then our cloudlab.com, we have a blog at cloudlab.com/blog where we dig into things like data that we can offer that Shopify cannot. We offer things, kind of building in public, if you will. So helping other developers understand how to analyze their site traffic and their listing traffic, things like that. Talk about all our integrations and stuff, and try to write topical stuff at least once a month, if not a little more, about ways that our app can help you within Shopify where you can't get it elsewhere, and for app developers, because I think it's really a small community when you think about it. I think there's only 6,000 some apps out there right now, which means there are fewer than that many app developers. So we got to stay close, and help each other.
No, that's true. Shopify, I'm a Shopify partner, and obviously Shopify Partner Network is a very close-knit community. And I think that's also a strong part of what Shopify has become by now. Cool. Thank you so much, Sam. I think that was quite insightful. So I only can recommend everyone who needs reporting and wants to dive deeper into it to try the free trial of your app and then take it from there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Klaus. It was great talking to you.
Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Hey, Klaus here. Before you leave, I have a question for you. Are you a Shopify store owner and you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and not sure what to do next to grow your business? Do you struggle to convert traffic into sales and turn website visitors into buyers? Do you want to have direct access to a mentor who can assist you with your store, your strategy, offer, marketing, sales, and anything else you might need in your business? Then I would invite you to apply for my Get Conversions program, where I show you how to remove the guesswork out of growing your Shopify business and create clarity to optimize your business for maximal growth and profit. This is an application-only program. To apply, go to klauslauter.com to learn more. And finally, please do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It's a huge help and allows me to reach more people with this channel. Thanks in advance, and until next time at the e-commerce coffee break.